Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Tshidi Radebe, back on your screen once again. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the science of hair. So without any further ado, let us get right into today's video. Okay, so I first want to teach you guys to have the right information so that you can take better informed decisions when coming to your hair, so that you can understand what is it that your hair lacks and what is it your hair needs to improve on, and things you should probably continue doing because they work for your hair, right? So the first thing that I want to discuss is genetics. Genetics basically just says that, look, when you got pushed out, it was already predetermined that your hair can only grow to a certain extent. So if we were to say that this is your hair, your scalp, and this is your ceiling, then you can only grow 11 inches and that's all. Okay, God decided that for you. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing Afro Botanics can do. There's nothing AfroSense, Sheer Moisture can do. All Sheer Moisture and all these brands can do is help to improve your hair's health so that you can reach your full growth potential, right? But before we get into that, and now that I've said that, let us actually understand what hair is. So today's video, I'm going to be teaching y'all, okay, this is the best way I can show you or teach you how to understand, right? So let's pretend, work with me over here. This circle over here represents your scalp, right? And then these dots over here that I'm putting, these are your hair follicles. This too is predetermined by God. He decides how many follicles he wants to give you. Sheer Moisture can't do anything about it. Afro Botanics can't do anything about it. If you got lots of hair follicles, that means your hair is probably dense. Even though you have got thin hair, it just means that your hair still very much looks like it's a lot because you've got a lot of hair follicles. And also hair size, like the size of your head, actually also plays a role. But anyway, these little dots over here, these are your hair follicles, okay? There's nothing I can do to increase that. There's no amount of product you can use to help you like make them any more or anything like that. Then I'm going to use a different marker. This part here, this is your hair, okay? This is your hair that grows out of your scalp, and then I'm going to draw these lines here. These are open cuticles and then these are closed cuticles. This basically determines, these lines over here determines your porosity. So if you are low porosity or if you are low porosity, okay? So that represents porosity. Then I'm going to change the color. This here, these are your ends. So this is where your hair ends, and by this part you want to ensure that you're doing everything you can so that you preserve the oldest part of your hair. And this over here is your roots. This is what grows out of your scalp. All right, now that you guys understand this, let us start talking about how this can help you grow your hair. There's lots of factors that actually hinder your hair from growing. So a lot of people might have healthy follicles, and that's why their hair is growing so long and thick and luscious, because they actually have healthy follicles. A lot of us have actually somehow damaged our follicles in the process of being here on earth, because some of us, like myself, I've had a relaxer before. That means I have done some sort of damage on my follicles, and now I've probably, since I've been natural, I've been repairing my follicles. Oh, that other size is, okay, let me explain something else. I actually almost forgot. The size of your hair follicles determines if you've got medium, fine, or coarse hair. Now, if I were to take this little dot over here and I'm going to redraw it as a follicle, right? So this is a follicle. This is a nice healthy follicle, and if you're eating right, you're using everything, you are ensuring that your hair is happy and all that kind of stuff, your follicle produces this much hair. But obviously I'm showing this as a different ratio, okay? Follicles are like the pores, right, that you get on your cheeks. You want to make sure that you have to wash your scalp properly so that you unclog your pores / follicles. You get what I mean? Just to make it a little bit relatable to skin. So now let me explain. If now you lack, let's say you have anemia like myself, that means if your hair had the potential of growing out in this size, the diameter of your hair, it's gonna stop because now you're lacking something, and then it's gonna probably grow maybe from here to there, whereby it leaves this gap over here, and this gap over here is basically things such as stress, deficiency, and all that kind of stuff. Now, in actual fact, my hair is quite thick. For example, my hair is thick, but because I'm lacking certain things in my body, my hair cannot grow out of its maximum state and be happy. You guys must remember that your hair is dead, okay? And I'm going to explain that in a second. Your hair and nails are not that important to your body, to the point whereby when you eat an apple, your body will basically transfer all those nutrients and vitamins to everywhere else in your body but your hair and nails. So things such as stress basically contribute to your hair not being thick or your hair not growing to its full potential. And remember when I was talking about a ceiling, let me explain it this way. So if this is your scalp and God said that's how much hair you can grow, it is your job on this earth to ensure that you are eating the right food, you have a consistent hair regimen, you know which products work for your hair, you understand your hair, you know porosity and all these things that basically aid in ensuring that your hair is growing to its full potential, so that you guys don't get stuck at the hair plateau that people talk about. Hair plateau is basically when you lose hair at the same rate as you grow it. So every time you grow half an inch, you lose half an inch, because you are probably not eating the right food, you're not using the right products on your hair. So now, things such as environmental factors, psychological factors, stress, your boyfriend, finances, the C word I'm not gonna say, 2020, basically, if I say 2020, you know what happens. They all affect how much hair can grow out of your scalp to the ceiling, right? You see what I mean? You need to get here. But some of you guys end up maybe here because you are not understanding your hair. You're not spending time saying, okay, look, if I use Afro Botanics, for example, for 6 months, this is what it has done for my hair. So the reason why products don't grow your hair is because you are probably, for example, let's say you did have healthy hair. So I'm going to start another follicle here. So let's say, for example, you did have healthy hair, right? Your follicle is happy. You use a clarifying shampoo every now and then. You have balanced your protein. You have done all of these great things, but you are using a heavy oil instead of a penetrative oil, which can't really get to the follicle, because the follicle, yeah, I'm explaining it as this here, but it's deep inside, okay? And now you're not using the right oils. So now using castor oil, for example, and you have low porosity and you know you should be using it, for example, it sits on your hair strand and it never gets to your follicle because it's too thick for your hair type, right? So that's why I always encourage you guys to first understand what kind of hair is growing out of your scalp. And the other thing you guys must understand is that your hair grows from the inside, right? And I feel like some of you guys don't understand. Your hair grows from the inside. So under here, it's a thing called a dermis, and it's like little pieces of hair, and all the food that you eat basically feeds up to this dermis over here. And if you lack iron, like myself, then it's not gonna get to your hair. Therefore, that's why your hair cannot produce, that's why your follicles are not producing at a rate at which it can. So you guys must remember that your follicles can be damaged. They can also be repaired. It's important that you understand that your hair grows from the inside out to ensure that you are eating the right things. Not only that, but you actually have a consistent moisturizing routine, your deep conditioning, which is the other thing I'll discuss later on about deep conditioners in a separate video. And I just want to make sure that you guys understand there's lots of factors that contribute to your hair not growing. You could have a unhealthy follicle, which is why you're producing thin hair. Your hair might not necessarily be thin. It's just that you've been doing so much damage to your follicle that all it can do is produce thin hair. Some of you guys are probably stuck at a certain plateau and your hair is not growing because you're probably using the same products that you've been using maybe for the last 3 years that your hair has enough of. And that's the other thing. If you're going to try to take hair supplements don't work. So hair supplements only do what basically fill up the gap. So remember this thing that I was talking about here, this hair growth that God gave you. What supplements do is, so for example, if you're lacking vitamin K and C and A, and now you're drinking your vitamins, your hair growth vitamins, all they do is they come here, zoom, 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 and then they go to vitamin A in the hair, vitamin C and vitamin K, and then they help to plug where it was lacking. Hair supplements will never surpass this ceiling that God predetermined, that's all you can grow. Okay, it's going to help to improve the health of your hair and to ensure that, you know, your hair is it's working really hard to reach that ceiling that God already said you're going to reach, and you deserve to reach it. I don't know where my growth rate stops. I don't know that, but I'm going to do everything in my power in 2021 to reach it. I don't know if I've reached it yet, but I think I haven't. I think that my hair, the reason I'm saying that because my hair has grown in the past year, so I know that there's potential for my hair to grow again. And going forward, which is something I'm going to be discussing in my next video, is that I'm going to be equipping you guys with ingredients that help you to ensure that you are basically taking the health of your hair, you are consuming these products, and you're also placing them on your hair, and they're actually doing a 365 job. You know, your hair is working overtime, you're putting the right ingredients on your hair. And I can say, I don't know if I explained this properly, but products don't necessarily grow your hair, because you have to understand that your hair is made out of let's see if I can draw this real quick, because now I'm reaching like 12 minutes. Your hair, if this is your hair over here, if this is a chart, right, your hair is made out of 20% water, 40% oil, which are your lipids, and then 40% protein. That's why some of you guys are protein sensitive, because your hair produces enough protein for you not to have to do a protein treatment as regularly as somebody that probably lacks protein in their hair. But for you to understand that, you first have to understand your hair. And if you don't understand your hair and how it grows, and genetics and hair cuticles, how porous your hair is, and all those things, and using the wrong products on your hair, or you're using products that your hair has enough of, that's reason why that your hair isn't growing. Guys, I feel like I am horrible at explaining things. This is the best way. This to me makes sense. So if I have a visual person in the comment section, please comment and say I understand, Tshidi. And if you guys want a more, I don't know if you want further explanation, I'm going to be addressing these things in my upcoming videos. And I just wanted to compact everything in once, and I'm so sorry if it was all over the place. I really am sorry, but this is the best way for me to explain it. But I'm going to be explaining it even further when I discuss certain ingredients that actually help you reach your maximum state. Products alone are not going to grow your hair. You have to start internally, and then work your way up with your hair, and then use the right ingredients on your hair. I'm gonna stop talking, okay? So I'll see you guys in my next video, and bye for now.